All the same questions that Don asked you. We're gonna regurgitate. No, just kidding.
That's all right.
We're getting a little more interactive here.
Okay.
We got questions coming in on our Cover It Live chat on hurricanesports.com. We got someone monitoring Facebook.com and Twitter.com. So the fans, obviously, it's a huge day for them as well. Why don't you when I help me stall here real quick.
Gotcha.
A little bit about I know you guys talked with Don about Denzel Perryman and Anthony Chickillo. We didn't hear so much about Jionni Paul. I didn't hear that part. So if you can fill us in about Jionni from Kathleen High School up in Lakeland.
Yeah, I talked about our opportunity to go up and get Jionni. We got hired. Like I said, I got hired on a Friday, so I didn't really get a chance to go out in Florida, and then it was a dead period for 2 weeks. So we completely redid our recruiting board, based on what it was before we got hired and where we wanted to go. Linebacker was an emphasis, and I don't know, Coach Darrow and I must have watched 200 linebackers. To put our board together, Jionni was right at the very top of it, and had an opportunity to go out and see him that first week. We were out on the road that week of January 3rd or 4th. It seems like it was 2 years ago now, but we got a chance to go out and see him then, and it was a process. It wasn't simple. He was a guy that was committed elsewhere, but he was a guy who really, I think, had dreams of playing at the University of Miami, and I think that, there was a relationship to be repaired there, and I think he saw how willing we were to do that. Myself and Michael Darrow and Coach Golden and staff, and he's got a tremendous family. His mom and dad are great people, who only wanted the best situation for him. They're both in education. He's a very good student. 4-year starter at Kathleen, and obviously our ties to Kathleen, with Ray Lewis are amazing. So I think all those things were in place. He's the kind of kid that should be at Miami, and I'm just glad that he and his family welcomed us, into their home and into their schools, and whatever way we forged ourselves in there to make that relationship. And
well, it seems like I've had a chance to talk to some of these guys, and it seems like from talking to them, once you were able to open the door, that they did allow you to kick it wide open and walk in, and there seemed to be some kids like Jionni and even Denzel, who I knew had been interested in a while, that were willing and able and wanting to be a member of this particular family, which I know is very special.
Yeah, but it took time, and it should. There has to be, recruiting is about relationships, and we just had to make sure that we spent our time in the places that we needed to, and we set our sights on some guys in early January, and we were able to execute on getting those guys on the team. So it's a good feeling.
You ready for some questions from the fans?
Sure.
Okay. This is a simple one. This comes from Julian on Cover It Live. 4-3 or 3-4?
We're a 4-3 base team. Yeah, we'll be a 4-3 base team. We'll have the ability to be multiple, as offenses are multiple in college football. So I don't want to be vague, but at the same time, I don't want to give our opponents too much information, to be honest.
Just break open the playbook. It's fine.
I've been around long enough to not do that. But
multiple is a good word.
Yeah, and again, from week to week, you're gonna be playing people that are totally different. So that will impact what we do. But we have 4-3 personnel, and we've recruited 4-3 personnel. So
okay. Well, I heard Coach McDonald talk about he wants the young players to come in and want to compete, and so this question comes from the U. So it says the chances that Anthony Chickillo starts from day one.
That would be totally unfair to him, and it would be totally unfair to the guys on our team. However, he's going to have an opportunity to do that, as they all will. And like I said earlier, I think he's a guy, because of his commitment in the weight room, because of his commitment to technique off the field, and that he wakes up every day wanting to be the best. Some of the guys that are on our current team will have to deal with the charge from him.
All right, we got a ton of good stuff coming in here. I'm just trying to get the questions that we can get forward to you. What? Let's see what we got here. All right, this comes from JK Miami 89. What are you doing back? Everyone talks about the attitude and the swagger. How much of that is a priority for you guys? What are you doing to try and, I don't know, bring it back, but enhance that and keep it within it? How much of that is a priority to you guys?
It is a priority. It's a priority for us to be really physically tough. Okay, and that's not all the showboating and all the throwing out the U and all that other stuff that goes with it. That is being physically tough. When somebody turns on the film, okay, and they have to watch you, and the opposing coach turns it on a Sunday, and he looks at it and he says, "Holy cow, how am I going to block these guys?" or they just keep coming. Okay, that's the message that we want to get out, and that just comes from being tough and physical. It has nothing to do with a mouth or a so-called, swagger. To me, that's swagger. That's swagger that when we're going to go on the field, we are going to be tougher than anybody else that plays defense.
All right, with defensive coordinator Mark Donofrio. Sorry if I cut you off there. This comes from NATO. This one's an easier one. The question is, would you say the defense you run is more attacking style or more sit back, read, and react?
Again, not to be vague, but multiple. We've been a multiple coverage team. We've been a multiple pressure team. We've done certain things in certain situations. We'll game plan certain things, situationally football, red zone, third down, those kind of things. All those things will impact what we're going to do, and obviously the opponent. So, being vague again.
That's all right. How about this? We don't need to be vague about this.